In business for over 20 years, Sal's Pizza has become a mainstay of Italian-American Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Mimo, Sal's proprietor, felt he had to get with the times, trading his espresso machine for draft beer. Is it too much? We'll find out. Let's go to Italics correspondent Lucia Grillo at Sal's Pizza.
I bought this place in 1982. I'm here 33, 34 years now. I grew up in Queens, Bayside, Whitestone area. When I told my mom I'm going to Brooklyn, she told me, "What are you, nuts? What do you want to go to Brooklyn for?" Because in the 80s, it was not one of those places you want to live,
What did make you move here?
Well, the guy that lived next door to me in Queens, in Whitestone, he originally came from this area, and I was in college. And I used to work in a pizza place in Bayside. When he told me he wanted to buy a pizza place in Brooklyn, I said, "Brooklyn?" I said, "I've never been to Brooklyn, So I came and I liked the area, and I see it was a nice area, so I made the move. And, I seen a lot of changing. This always was a nice area, but the surrounding, they were a little bit rough. But now, it's paradise here in Williamsburg. Everybody wants to live in Williamsburg. I seen kids growing up, getting married and have their own kids,
So what was the neighborhood like when you first moved here 32 years ago?
Nothing, strictly Italians. I'm from Bari, Puglia, but a lot of people came from Campania, Napoli, Salerno. On a Sunday, everybody had pizza. They used to eat at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, but at nighttime, everybody, pizza. It was pizza night. Friday night was pizza night, And then Saturday, people came here for lunch, but, that whole thing changed,
What's your clientele like now? Who comes in?
It's all young kids, no more families, all the families, it seems like they move out or they can't afford here.
What are the biggest changes you've noticed in all these years, or even in the past, let's say, 10 years?
I think my biggest change was that when the subway used to shut down here at 9 o'clock on Lorimer Street. Now it's like constantly, I can't stop moving my head back and forth, seeing people going back and forth. It was very calm, 9 o'clock, the subway shut down, people used to come in. Now it's like constantly, we're pretty busy all the time because there's a lot of people living in Williamsburg. There's all this growing up, they all want to drink beer and wine. Years ago, it was all like, little kids, summertime came and there used to be a line for ices, so I had to make a few changes to better my business. Otherwise, I would have been left behind. We're taking a lot of orders online, which we never used to do that. We never, even delivered 2 blocks away. Now we deliver all over because all these kids from their smartphone, they just make orders, That's another big change too.
So do you have people that are complaining that come in here for espresso and don't find their espresso?
No, but they understand. They understand. There's a lot of coffee shops, so I can compete, by me making espresso.
What do you think about the switch? Like he recently put in the beer tap.
That was a brilliant idea because you want to service your customers, your neighborhood, and that's very high in demand around here. People want to, relax and have a beer, a glass of wine with their pizza. And so, it's a brilliant move. It's long overdue.
Do you think sometimes we hold on to tradition too tightly?
I don't think too tightly, but I think tradition is a good thing. We need that. We need, tradition, and this place offers tradition. And I think that's a nice balance that they offer.
Where would you draw the line and say, absolutely not? That is one thing I am not changing about this pizzeria. I don't care who moves into the neighborhood.
I'll never put pineapple on top of the pizza. That's one thing I would never do. We got a lot of requests of different types of pizza, and I said, no, this is it, My father would turn in his grave if I put pineapple on top of the pizza, My dad used to work with me. He worked with me he died in 92, so he was with me for 10 years,
How do the conversations you have with your clients from, say, 82 to now, how does the conversation change?
Before we used to talk about maybe sports or, where are you going on vacation? Now you talk about iPhone, emails, how do you email something, this graphic designer. That's all we talk about, Smartphones.
What do you think hipsters think of Italian Americans?
Oh, they love it. I think they love it because they're getting good food. I mean, especially this area's got great restaurants. Every pizza place makes a good pizza, and the hipsters love it. I think they love it. That's why everybody, I think, moves here.
Do you think that pizza, a slice, is still the number one food of New York?
I think so. It's quick. I think it's very healthy, especially in the way we make it. We use everything, natural. Cheese, sauce, and dough. I think it's better a hot dog or what you call a hamburger, that greasy food,
What do you see as the future for Williamsburg?
I see Williamsburg as being like the Soho in about 10 years. This place is gonna be like Soho. People won't be able to afford it. You're only gonna have like people with money around here. Even the young hipster, it won't be no hipster. It's gonna be like this finance guys or like graphic design people that make big money. Cause I see people got a lot of money that live here. Cause the rents are very high.
Do you live in the neighborhood, or do you just have the pizzeria?
I can't afford to live here. I mean, I was born and raised in Italy. I came here when I was 12 years old, and I'm very proud of my heritage, I'm an American now, but I mean, in my heart, Italy is always in my heart.
How do you hold on to your barese-ness?
Well, I feel that Sunday at 2 o'clock, I want my kids, my wife, everybody together. We got to have dinner together. I believe in that. And sometimes when I'm home, usually, I work. But if I was home, I like to have dinner with my family. That's where you discuss family problems, whatever. And people sense that. My kids, like I got 2 girls, they really sense that. They like that Sunday dinner, or even when I'm home. Sometimes, I got to work, and I cannot be home because, the pizza place, it's a long hours.
How old are your girls?
26 and 23.
So they're really still into the culture and being with the family.
Especially my oldest daughter. We go to Italy every year. She loves it. She's very proud to be Italian American. She's American Italian. I'm Italian American because I was born there. She was born here.
What about the traditions here, right? There's like the Giglio feast. There are all these feast days.
No, it's still here. A lot of these hipsters love that. They love that because they never seen something like that. Like on Sunday Giglio, I see a lot of my customers, they ask me, and they love it. I think they enjoy it. I think that Giglio will never die. Because it's a great feast, and they do a great job. Whoever's running it, they do a great job. Willie B's the place to be.